In this episode of Falmouth in Focus, we'll see how a local group is planting trees in recognition of Arbor Day, celebrate our wounded warriors with the annual soldier ride along the Shining Sea Bikeway, and hear how a new local foundation is honoring the memory of a Falmouth man by funding youth initiatives in underserved communities. All this and much more on this edition of Falmouth in Focus.
Hello and welcome to Falmouth in Focus, FCTV's current affairs program. I'm your host, Michael Kasparian. The latest reports show that COVID-19 case counts continue to increase in the town of Falmouth and statewide, with the COVID-19 community level in Barnstable County substantially elevated compared to previous weeks. There are plenty of vaccine and testing capabilities available, and the second booster is now available for certain populations. The Friday briefings by Falmouth's health agent Scott McGann are a good way to stay informed on the latest local, state, and federal guidance, and you can view the briefings on FCTV Government Channel 15, our Facebook page, and fctv.org. It's time now for Three Things from Town Hall, FCTV's condensed version of the takeaways from recent municipal meetings. Selections are chosen based on community impact.
In the last select board meeting, the board brought back up a continued agenda item regarding the number of road race runners that will be able to run this summer. Police Chief Dunn said that he could not ensure public safety with a race holding over 10,000 runners. After discussion, the board voted to cap the number of runners at 10,000.
We had a lot of discussion since our last meeting with police department, with the chief, with folks at the road race. We were able to get the data from their deferments, I'm happy to report that the road race, and I see Scott Gelfie is here, that we're going to be able to work with that 10,000 number, and that number will be able to encompass folks from the community being able to register, because there was about a little bit shy of 2,000 folks who didn't choose to go ahead with their deferments. And so that's going to be able to satisfy that number. And what we're going to do is, as we go into, I think what was abundantly clear is that we're going to start those conversations about next year, maybe not the day after the road race, but pretty soon after it. We know the road race is looking to get back to that 12-8 number. They're going to, they've put together a security plan. They really want to talk through it. We know we have to have some bigger discussions. So that's going to take place. But for this year, I'm happy to say that we're going to be able to work with that number. And I think we're going to have a really fabulous race. A lot of excitement. Folks, it's the 50th and there's a lot of energy around it. So
the board also discussed the position of the Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Officer, generally suggesting that the position needs to be advertised and filled as soon as possible. The position was formerly held by Jacqueline Hartman until her resignation this past March.
I think one of our biggest challenges is going to be the salary with our cost of living here. I recently learned that the average cost of a home in Falmouth is $700,000, and so a household of, I think it was 2, maybe 4, but an average household needs to make $180,000 to afford a home in Falmouth. So I think if we don't deal with that in some way, we are only going to get people who can afford to live here, which means we're not going to get the widest applicant pool. And that's something that I am concerned about. So I would want to look at budgets, what we can afford. I know we wouldn't want to pay someone $180,000 compared to what else we're paying, but I would want to see what we could do to encourage people to apply at what we can afford. But really think about, when we talk about what we can afford, it's what do we want to make a priority when we're making this salary range.
Mm-hmm. The Select Board also had a special meeting later in the week on Thursday to discuss the removal of Town Manager Julian Suso. The action was a result of a negative performance review of the Town Manager in the Board's regular Monday night meeting. The Board voted unanimously to remove the Town Manager from his position.
I have a motion I have prepared. I'm going to read that into the record now. I move that the Select Board initiate the removal of the town manager pursuant to Section C5-10 of the Town Falmouth Charter by adopting a resolution to remove the town manager because of his failure to implement the goals and carry out the policies of the Select Board as required by Section C5-3A of the Town of Falmouth Charter. The adoption of this resolution shall serve to suspend the town manager pursuant to Section C5-10B of the Town of Falmouth Charter. I further move to invoke the provisions of Section C5-13A to authorize the Assistant Town Manager to perform the duties and responsibilities of the Town Manager until further action by the Select Board.
Second.
All those in favor? By roll call, please.
Scott Price, aye.
Batterside.
English Praga, aye.
Taylor, aye.
And Brown, aye.
To see the meetings in their entirety, check out Government Channel 15's program schedule at fctv.org. Join us after a quick break to see how a local group coordinated an Arbor Day project to plant tree saplings across the Cape. Stay with us.
A New Year's message from the Upper Cape Women's Coalition. We firmly believe that conflicts within our homes, our community, and our country can be resolved by listening to each other, learning from each other, and respecting each other.
We greet the new year with renewed efforts to ensure that women's lives are safe, free of fear, intimidation, and violence in our homes, at work, and in our neighborhoods, no matter where we're from, whom we love, or how we identify.
Women's bodies are respected. A healthcare system that takes our needs seriously, from research to treatment to supporting women making decisions about when and if to start a family.
Women's work is valued. We are paid and promoted equally, so we are able to retire with dignity. Women's families are supported. Policies allowing women to make responsible decisions between family and work. Women are represented from school boards to the White House, and all votes are protected and counted.
We send you warm wishes to all for a safe and happy new year.
Welcome back to Falmouth in Focus. In recognition of Arbor Day, people are making a big difference on the Cape by planting native trees. Working with 30 organizations, the Unitarian Universalist Congregation in Falmouth coordinated the planting of 1,500 native white oak saplings. We stopped by one Falmouth location to hear more about how the trees planted there will be helping our environment.
We started this program called Be the Hope, plant 1,500 native trees on Cape Cod about 3 months ago. And the purpose was to build some hope in this time. People have gone through the pandemic. There's divisiveness within the country, within the world. And what we want to do is to address the climate emergency and the environmental degradation that's going on around us, hoping to leave something on this earth better than we got it for our kids and our grandkids. So we are at Long Pond at the Falmouth Town Forest. It's a beautiful place. And we're working with the town to identify a place that we could really have make a difference for planting some native white oak seedlings. 87% of the Cape right now is developed. Trees have been taken down regularly now with the increase in the value of property. People are taking down trees all the time. Every tree that you plant, these are native trees, provide oxygen when they're mature for two people for life, and they absorb enough 48 pounds of carbon. We're at this particular location because Boy Scout Troop 38 of North Falmouth came to help. They offered their assistance along with their parents and their leaders to plant 20 of the seedlings right here. And almost every one has a label on it. It's a sign, and those signs are for to plant the seedling in memory or in honor of someone who's died recently. Some during the pandemic from COVID, some from age, some from lots of different reasons, plus people who've done something special, like the director of our choir and our pianist who brought music. One of the major objectives of this program is to really bring awareness and a sense of ownership and a sense of being able to do something, and do something important that will last for many years to come. We also reached out to land conservation trusts around the Cape. Every one of the 15 towns on the Cape is involved. Every school system that I called really wanted some trees to a special celebration of Arbor Day for all of their kids. So 800 elementary school kids on the Upper Cape had a special celebration for Arbor Day using our trees, and they planted them, brought them home, shared them with their parents. They really started to understand the importance of this. So perhaps the most important thing to take away here is that we can all make a difference when it comes to Cape's beautiful and precious environment. You can be the hope too.
Thanks to Andrew Richards for that story. The Wounded Warrior Project Soldier Ride, a unique 4-day bicycle ride for veterans and wounded service members, returned to Falmouth last week along with a new feature, Couples. The 10-mile stretch of bike path on the Shining Sea Bikeway allowed a lot of room for the community to cheer the warriors on as they rode from North Falmouth to Woods Hole and back.
The Falmouth Military Support Group was asked 12 years ago if we could get some people together to come out and cheer on the warriors, and it's grown from a very small group of people coming out to here we are on our 11th ride, and the Falmouth Military Support Group takes care of all the aspects of what happens here: fire details, police details, setting up all the crossings across town, doing goodie bags for people.
These people come from all over America. This ride is couples, so it's couples for the first time ever. Massachusetts is where American freedom was born. It'll always be defended. And we love this because Falmouth is so beautiful.
Let's roll!
God bless you. Looking good.
For a long time, we heard about it, and we really just thought it would be really great to come out and support other veterans. Daniel's a veteran, and just to be in this environment and to connect with the outdoors and just get physical again is just so important.
Just spending the time up here, away from Georgia, it's a good change. Great. Oh, I love these guys. I mean, I've never met any of them before, and now I act like I think I know all of them.
Right.
So they're crazy, but just the camaraderie. The military's like that, and the fact that we are here together, all focused on the same thing, the same goal, testing ourselves, pushing ourselves. I just love the challenge.
So Wounded Warrior Project is an awesome organization for any veteran post 9/11. They are the only nonprofit organization I know that takes care of veterans the way they do. And they really do treat us like American heroes, like we're supposed to be treated.
I signed up, and ever since then they've been such an important part of my life, from just talking to people, the different resources for work, and just community. The community aspect has been the biggest for me, just being able to talk to other veterans and just start to live life again.
I did a soldier ride before, but this one here is a little bit more special because I'm able to do it with the person I love. The one that's able to be there for me when I'm stressed out and when I'm having issues. She's my caregiver and my love. And this is what we're here for. We're here to have a great time. We're here to have fun with others, and we're here to meet other soldiers and other people around the world.
You don't have to serve, but we all should pay back by loving these veterans and helping them and supporting them. It doesn't take much. And I've talked to them all, and they feel it, and they go back to their state, and they brag about Cape Cod, and they brag about Massachusetts, and I love it.
Good morning!
FCTV was honored to have our members staffing the crossing at Depot Avenue in Falmouth. Thanks to Andrew Richards, Alan Russell, and our FCTV volunteers for covering that event. Summer is right around the corner, and with it, the start of the new season at the College Light Opera Company. We spoke with Mark Pearson and Joan McDonald from Clark about the upcoming season and their brand new space.
Correct. So we've just finished our new facility here on campus, Lucas Hall, behind me. The Valley Group did an excellent job, and this will be the first summer that we're using the space with our full company. So it's a rehearsal facility, it's an office facility. It really takes on all of the business aspects of producing the shows over the summer. Yeah, so it really has changed how Clock operates as an organization. It takes a lot of strain off of the old West Falmouth Inn, which many people who have come to West Falmouth or go to Chappaquiddick Beach are familiar with driving past the inn on the left. That's always been our largest dormitory, but it's also been our rehearsal facility. It's been all of our office space. It's been spillover choral rehearsal space. It's also our dining facility. Our costume shop is in there, so it really covers a lot of our needs. And now we've been able to move a lot of that work out of that space into this new space behind me. We're going into our 54th year this summer, so we've got a very large group of alums across the country, most of whom have a pretty close relationship with the organization, and so we've had a lot of support from them as far as the fundraising goes, but also a lot of local support. The community here has been really engaged and really, really wonderful about understanding the need for this project and stepping up to provide the funding. So Valley Group was our general contractor, so they took on the entire project before the pandemic, and they worked through the pandemic. And I think one of the most impressive things is that despite all of that, they came in very close to budget, and I think within a week or two of their proposed finish date, which they had set before the pandemic. Right. So I find that really impressive. The whole project at the end of the day cost over $4 million. So we're just really thankful to everyone who came and made it possible to complete this project. We're also using it as a small performance venue in the off season. So we did
three shows.
We did three. Yeah, we did.
Company.
Yeah, we did 3 shows this past winter, and we'll be doing some more shows in the fall. Which, we'll be sharing that exciting news.
I don't know. Later, I think when we open the season.
We've got a great lineup of shows this summer. We open on June 21st with The Gondoliers by Gilbert and Sullivan, and then we'll do 9 productions over the course of the summer. Get 6 performances each week, so you've got plenty of opportunity to see all the shows we have lined up. All of our shows are up at the Highfield Tuesday through Saturday night. You can visit us at our website, which is collegelighoperacompany.com. You can also call the box office, 508-548-0668.
College Light Opera Company's 54th season will open on June 21st at Highfield Theater. Thanks to Alan Russell for that story. We're going to take a quick break to hear about an adoptable cat from People for Cats. And when we return, we'll hear about a new nonprofit organization honoring the late Chase Soares of Falmouth. Stay with us.
Hercules is a handsome brown tabby domestic short-hair male. This fellow's estimated to be approximately 6 years old and an absolute sweetheart. He's a bit shy but warms up quickly and adores attention. Hercules came to PFC when his previous owner could no longer care for him. He's neutered, up-to-date on shots, and microchipped, and looking for a forever home. Why not come meet this very sweet gentleman and see if he's a good match for you? To meet Hercules at PFC, you must have an application on file with us and been pre-approved to adopt a cat. Call 508-540-5654 for more information.
On February 15, 2020, at the age of 23 years old, Chase Soares of Falmouth passed away tragically in an auto accident. To honor Chase, his family and friends have created the Team Chase Foundation to provide funding for youth athletic and educational initiatives for underserved communities. Sunday, the 15th, Chase's birthday, Team Chase held its foundation launch in Falmouth Heights. FCTV was there to learn more about Chase and the foundation that now bears his name.
The idea for the foundation was because my son Chase's passion, his whole life was basketball. And he was very kind and caring, and I really wanted to spread kindness in memory of Chase. But it's not a foundation that just focuses on one thing. It has several different things that we're going to help the community. But the first thing is it's a plastic basketball card, and it's called the Chase Challenge Kindness Ball. And what it is when you do something kind, you leave this ball behind. And on the back of it, it tells you how it works, and you can scan the code. And what it does is it will take you to the website, and you can enter your name and your random act of kindness, and it will recognize your location, and it will be a map, and you can track this ball, and you can track the acts of kindness all over the United States. And that's the Chase Challenge Kindness Ball.
So we have cornhole, we have 3-on-3 basketball, and we have raffle tables going on so we can give away scholarships and promote future education for the whole youth. Yeah.
My friend Louis Forts, he came up with the idea of the plastic round basketball to go with the basketball theme. And then my aunt Renee came up with the idea about there needs to be a way to track the ball and see the ball all over the map. So I had a lot of different friends and family that just kept on telling me bits and pieces, and then I put it all together. And Team Chase stands for Together Everyone Achieves More, Care, Help, and Share Every Day. That's what Team Chase stands for. So I made the foundation as like a basketball team for my son. So all my foundation members are like my team players, my volunteer, they're my team players. So it's kind of like set up as a team. Great. So in memory of my son Chase. And my son was born in Atlanta, and he never got a chance to go back down. So we're going to take the Chase Challenge Kindness van from Cape Cod, Mass, and we're going to go all the way down to Atlanta, and we're going to spread random acts of kindness through each state, and that's going to be on social media, so you can follow us at Team Chase Foundation on Facebook and Instagram and TikTok, but everything will be on social media, what states we're going through and when we're going through.
Our Chase was a special light in our life. He loved everybody, and he made time, which is the most important thing that you can give, for every one of his friends. And I guess that's the biggest give back that you can give to your community and to humankind. And everybody that's here today is showing us that time that they're giving us, you can't never get that back. It was said in the rap song, the biggest thing you can give to somebody is your time. So when they give this to us, we feel nothing but love.
The first trip Team Chase plans to make in their van is to Chase's birthplace in Atlanta. The foundation hopes that others will use the Chase Kindness Ball to record their random acts of kindness around the globe. Thanks to Tony Sedera for covering that event. In May 2021, members of the Woods Hole Oceanographic Institution's Ocean Twilight Zone project braved the rough seas of the Northeast Atlantic to measure how carbon moves through the mysterious mid-ocean twilight zone. Let's take a look at this video submitted by WHOI. Thanks to WHOI for allowing us to feature that video on Falmouth in Focus. A new principal will be taking the helm at Falmouth High School at the start of the upcoming school year. Dr. Alan Harris was recently introduced to our community at a Falmouth School Committee meeting. Here's more from Dr. Harris about what brings him to the district.
It is just such an honor to have the opportunity to join the learning community at Falmouth High School and to join the Falmouth School District. Having had the opportunity to work as a teacher, principal, and administrator in other districts and other schools, the words students first are pretty common. What is uncommon is to see those words acted out in actions and delivered on a regular basis. And I think what was most moving for me when I came out to interview was to walk into the panel full of teachers and students and parents and community members and administrators. And their questions were so thoughtful and intentional and focused on student outcomes and on things like wellness for teachers that is more important than ever as we've been through 27 months of unprecedented times in education. And the teachers are sincerely the heroes in this work who just continue to show up every single day. And to hear how deeply committed they are to inclusion, access, equity, and diversity. For me, a great mentor of mine said, we aren't done with this work in education until student outcomes are not predictable by things they cannot control, like their race or their economic status or their qualifying for special education services. And that has been my life's vocation and advocation. I really think that in our work going forward, as we move forward now in education, that it's not possible to have another thing land on anybody's plate. We have to understand that excellence and equity are interdependent. Excellence without equity is privilege, and equity without excellence is a tokenism. And we have to get to both of those, but we have to do that intentionally, listening and learning with one another. And I'm excited to have the opportunity to join you all in that effort.
Thanks to Ryan Weber for that story. FCTV wants to remind you that television can be as easy as hitting record on your smartphone. We'd like to invite all Falmouth residents and visitors to share their slice of life with us. Email us your photos and videos or upload them to Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram using the hashtag MyFalmouth or Falmouth in Focus to be featured on the show. Thank you to our most recent contributors. We leave you now with the sights and sounds of the annual Trad Stroll in Woods Hole. Thank you for watching Falmouth in Focus. We'll see you next time.